my friend, and thank you so much for tuning in to Up Next on Access Hammonton. I'm your host and friendly neighborhood weatherman, Nor'easter Nick. New year, new you, right? At least that's what they tell us. How's that working out for you? Seriously, maybe your resolution this year was to get a little more fit or maybe eat healthier. I think that's something that we could all do a better job on, especially with how hard the past couple years have been. Personally, I'm a snacker, so I'm always looking for ways to eat something that won't tip the scales or add 10 pounds in front of the camera because that's a thing, right? When I found out what friend of the show and overall awesome human being Christy Schuyler was making on her show this week, I just had to stop in. Wait until you see this.
So the first thing, we'll do the overnight oats. Have you ever had overnight oats?
Yeah, I think I have actually.
Do you like oatmeal typically?
I do. I have it every morning.
Oh,
yeah.
Good job. So we made them over the weekend, right? Yeah. Okay, and what did we put in that particular? Because you can do all kinds.
We put blueberries, we put strawberries, walnuts.
Okay, that sounds yummy.
Mini chocolate chips. And we put those things in because that's what they like.
Okay.
And so in the morning, you can eat, did you ever have the oats, did you eat them warm or cold?
I've done it both ways.
Okay, which do you prefer, or do you not?
I usually like it warm.
Okay,
yeah.
Boys, how do you like it?
I like it warm.
And
warm.
You? Okay, and I like it cold, so
okay.
Maybe it's because my cold part, I don't know.
You don't know because you like cold salad. You have a big heart. Fruit and vegetables. It's this big.
So, overnight oats are extreme, they're so simple, so easy. We are going to do an apple cinnamon one today.
That sounds good.
With a 1-to-1 ratio of oat to milk.
Okay.
And we're gonna chop up the apples too.
All named after the show, Cooking with Christy and Kids.
Yes.
All right.
How is it? So we know that I don't measure anything really, but we'll do it for,
The purpose.
So I'll do 2 of these.
To our face. Oh my God, this bowl's so giant.
Well, that's just so we can,
Make a lot of them.
So I said a 1-to-1 ratio. What does that mean, Vincent?
That means 1 oat for 1 milk. It's a chocolate measurement.
Be careful.
In school.
Because this is all we have. We can do a peanut butter and jelly one. That's a good one. I think peanut butter and jelly goes by the wayside, like because of the peanut allergies and stuff.
Right,
My kids do not have nut allergies, so we're good. You just eye it, test it as you go along. Who's the one? Bam, Emerald, when he's like bam, and then it's good.
Bam.
Yeah, see?
Bam.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah, now it's good. Now we're good.
Ah, very good.
All right. Look at that.
Can you scrape it off? Luke is going to be a pro one day. And done.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I try a little bit more? Now we have to scrape.
She just ignores him. Usually keep something in a glass goes by the wayside too, and I like the wide mouth because that reason. It's wide.
Wide, like on Joel's.
How we're going to put it in the fridge, and honestly, it looks exactly the same when you take it out in the morning.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Thank you, Christy. It's always good to see you and the kids, and I'm totally going to try those recipes. By the way, I delivered on my promise for the snow, and I think there's more to come. Chances are, if you have a pulse and can fog a mirror, you probably put on a couple extra pounds since this whole pandemic thing started. I mean, who can resist those TikTok baking trends, right? I caught up with Chrissy Scola over at Adrenaline Fitness to talk about how we can get motivated to work out. Now, she didn't give me any routines to complete, but did offer some very helpful advice.
So when people start thinking about a New Year's resolution, they usually decide that they want to change a behavior. When you change a behavior, it doesn't have to be stressful and it doesn't happen overnight. Despite our good intentions, most people try to overplan or overachieve their New Year's resolution. So I would suggest maybe don't pick a target that's so far out. If you want to lose 25 pounds, bring it back down to 5 pounds. Your goal will be quicker to achieve and your results will be faster. If you're thinking about going to the gym and you want to get started, just thinking about it is your first step. You just need to get there. Sometimes we have what I call wasted space. So we constantly think about an action and we don't actually act on it. So it's wasted space, right? So I wake up in the morning and I say, I want to go to the gym today, but then I don't go. And then lunchtime comes and I say, I want to go to the gym. Then I don't go. And then dinner time comes and it's the same thing. You've wasted all of that space in your head that entire day thinking about getting to the gym. So on the contrary, if you just get to the gym, your whole day is in more of a positive outlook. So working out regularly improves and benefits your overall health, whether it's mental or physical. On the physical aspect, we are looking at decrease in heart disease, stroke, diabetes, all of those conditions. Our mental part of it, we look at improved mood, your irritability goes away, overall self-quality of your day is better when you introduce regular fitness into your everyday routine. So physical fitness can be a part of our everyday activity. I will use myself as an example. Every morning I wake up, I build my routine into my schedule. On the days that maybe I've slept in a little bit or I can't actually build that into my schedule, there's other tools that you could use throughout the day to make it work. For example, I drive to work, I park my car, I don't pick the closest spot to the door, I pick the furthest spot. My office is on the 3rd floor, so I take the 3 flights of stairs instead of taking the elevator. I'm a sedentary position, so if the phone rings, I answer it, I stand up. These are all tools throughout the day that you could use to incorporate physical activity, not just in the gym. Our gym is a membership-based gym. We offer cardio, machines, free weights, personal trainers who are available every day of the week. We have group fitness classes, which actually our schedules are growing now. We offer CrossFit, athlete training. You can simply come in, go to the front desk, fill out a health and waiver form, get a tour of the gym, take one of the first days of your gym membership for free, or take a free class the first time that you come. Our front desk is always very helpful, so if you have any questions, you could always speak with them. And we also have a great snack and protein shop with a lot of great product in it. I understand, and I understand that starting something new can be scary. It's the fear of the unknown. And actually neuroscience has linked uncertainty to failure. And I think sometimes that gets into our head when we start new adventures and new journeys. And I would just say, I've been teaching kettlebell for 10 years. I've never seen somebody leave the gym angry that they had to work out. So motivation is a huge thing. A lot of people ask me, how are you so motivated to go to the gym all the time and work out? But I think they're missing the key part. And the key part is it's not the motivation that you need, it's the action. So actually action comes first. So as soon as you take that action to change and to get into the gym and motivate yourself, that's where the motivation comes. So remember that the action's first and the motivation's second.
Good seeing you, Chrissy. Keep up all the great work, and thank you for your time. I truly do appreciate it. Keeping along the lines of new, how about welcoming a couple of the new officers for the town of Hammonton that were hired to protect and serve the community this month? I sat down with Chief Kevin Friel to talk about the new recruits and 2 of the officers that retired as well.
We've had a couple retirements as of the 31st of December, and we went through an extensive search to bring some people in that were already certified. It helps the department because we're backfilling with people who are not fresh out of the academy green. They've been police officers. It's just an acclimation period as to policy and procedure of our community and a geographic knowledge of our community. So the 2 that we wound up with Justin Mortalidi. He was working in Evesham Township, and we also wound up with Hardik Patel, who was working next door in Mullica Township. Both of them are interviewed perfectly. They are highly recommended in their agency. Their work ethic is great, and actually both of them are familiar with our community. One of them actually going to Hammonton High School and grew up in our town. So it's definitely a great fit. So they are assigned to a field training officer to get them acclimated to policy and procedure of our department. And then within a matter of weeks, they'll be out on their own protecting our community. Anyone that we hire, we still have a 1-year probationary period. If for some reason the individual doesn't work out, that they have disciplinary issues, that they have training issues, things of that nature, we would be able to dismiss them from the position. But I don't think that that's going to happen in this case. Again, we really do vet the individuals that are applying to our department. Just explaining to them that the way that Hammonton works is that we are a very community policing department, and that is one of the highest criteria that we have. We want our officers in our community to treat all of the persons in our community and visiting our community with the utmost respect, and we are here more as a service, protecting in that way, of making sure that everyone is healthy, happy, that rules are followed, not because they're a law, but because it adds to the ambiance of our community. Yeah, it definitely, I can see that, and it's the kind of officer that I started out as and have kept with ever since I was hired here, and it's one of the things that I think that we exemplify in our community. It's one of the things that people look at the Hammonton Police Department and know that we are very community oriented, that we get involved in our community, not even just as officers, but a lot of our officers are involved in different community organizations and help out with different community events.
Talk to me about the 2 officers that are retired.
We lost 2 great ones. We lost Lieutenant Edward Slim. He has been with our department for quite a long time. 94, I think, is when he started. And so he's been here for quite some time. And he certainly is going to be missed here. He was our resiliency officer for the new training that we just had. And he was very knowledgeable. He was a detective here before. He was also an arson investigator. So we lost a lot of experience with him leaving. But I think maybe somewhere down the road you might even see him back as a special officer helping out with things. It's one of the things that I would like to see happen, is that some of our retired officers come back to help out, even part-time, once they're allowed to do so by pensions. And the other officer, Corporal Richard Jones, definitely is going to be missed. He was definitely a staple with our school community. He was the school resource officer for quite some time, and has a great rapport with all of the young people in our community coming up through the school system. He, like I said, also, you may see him later on once he's able to come back. There are 2 officers that I think still dearly care about our community and would love the opportunity to help out to keep our community safe.
Final question, what would you say to somebody that's maybe younger watching this that maybe wants to serve in the future?
If you are 18, it's a great time to sign up for the Civil Service Law Enforcement Entry Examination. The Department of Civil Service, if you go online, you can actually log in and sign up for the testing process, which has to be signed up prior to the 28th of February. If you're younger than that, there are a lot of different things that you can do to be exposed to how law enforcement works. The Atlantic County Sheriff's Department has a Law Enforcement Explorers Post, which is a great thing to do. I actually did that when I was a teenager. Egg Harbor City had one, so I got to learn about what the career was about, sort of from the inside, and it was an interesting experience, and it definitely helped to nurture my interest in law enforcement. Again, anytime we have community events, when we have our National Night Out, it's another time to come out to learn and get some interest about it. It's a great field. I mean, it's difficult at times, especially with a lot of the changes in policies that we're facing. It's, changing the rules of the road while you're driving down the road already. But again, I think our department will fare very well with it. We have always been a community-centered department, and for us, de-escalation has been a technique that we've used for years. We, would rather to slow the system down, slow the situation down, than immediately use force.
Thank you, Chief, and best of luck to Patrolman Mortalidi and Patel. We also wish Corporal Jones and Lieutenant Slim a happy retirement. I'm sure we will see you both around town. If I was a betting man, I'd wager that most of you are pretty familiar with Mayor DiDonato, right? Did you know that he has been mayor since before I graduated high school? Now, don't tell him I said that, please. Okay? He's officially entered his third term in office and is looking forward to continuing to make Hammonton one of the best places in New Jersey to live. I caught up with the mayor to learn about his time in office and see how he's managed a work-life balance all this time.
I felt that I could help the community. I felt that at the time I started in school board, I started on the school board, and I felt that they were having some budget problems in the school, and I felt with my ability to budget dollars and run companies that I could help out. And there seemed to be a need. They were running a budget deficit at the time. The school was about $1.2 million in the hole, and it seemed like it was going sideways, and I thought I could help.
Okay. What's the most rewarding part of what you do now?
Helping people and seeing projects to fruition. Being the mayor of 12 full years, I'm on my 13th year. It's very rewarding to see projects that you started not only come to fruition, also after this long, starting to pay those projects off, pay down the bonding, and then go on to another project. So it's very rewarding and very exciting.
Hammonton's like a perfect example of people, the best example we can find though, of people working together, no matter what their party background is. Explain that. Like, how does that success come about?
Love. I think everybody who serves loves the community. They really genuinely love the community. And they want to see what's best for Hammonton. And everybody has different ideas. And that's what makes, I'm proud to be affiliated to Hammonton First because we have so many diverse ideas. A lot of times when I call the roll on a controversial, I don't know where the votes are coming. I never ask. In 12 years, I've never asked if somebody's voting yay or nay. One time, Deputy Mayor and we were coming out of a closed session, and he said, Mayor, how's the vote going to go tonight? And he quietly told me, he said, do you have any idea? I said, no, Tom, but we're all going to find out in about 15 minutes. So what's important is everybody vote their conscience and what they feel is best for Hammonton. As long as they're doing that, as long as they really feel that their vote is the best thing for the town of Hammonton, I have no issues with anybody.
How do you feel about being Hammonton's longest serving mayor?
Well, that means I guess I'm getting older. I just celebrated my 60th birthday. I'd rather go back 12 years to when I was 48 and inaugurated for the first time, but it's exciting. It's rewarding. I'm honored that the voters after this long still decide to pull my lever and support me, and I'm very blessed.
If you could go back 12 years ago, what would you tell your younger self?
First couple years, I would say slow down, try to slow the game down. Same thing I tell my daughter in business now, just try to slow everything down. Sometimes it seems like it's moving faster, and just try to slow it down. Take a deep breath, pause, try to figure out all the angles, where the pitches are coming from, and just slow the game down a little bit.
How's the town evolved over the past 12 years?
Biggest change has been in the industrial park in Main Street and some of the commercial ratables. Main Street over the last 12 to 15 years, my brother was mayor 4 years before myself. We had a town that was, for lack of a better term, much in need of improvement. It was a little rough around the edges. And Johnny's administration got the ball rolling and secured some investment in Main Street, some new businesses, and since then we've kept it going, and that's very rewarding to see. Before this, to be very honest with you, I sell houses and build houses, and a lot of times I would go around, do anything to show a house to go around Main Street because it was in need of improvement that much. But that improvement, the industrial, the ratables, it's very exciting. The property values have also gone up quite a bit.
In your eyes, what makes Hammonton special?
It's a Norman Rockwell painting. I say we're the old time, small town. We have the Halloween, we have the Christmas tree lighting, we have the Christmas parade. We have music on Main Street. It's just an old time feel. It's like pulling back into the 60s, but still having the modern, the modern feel to it.
What would you say to somebody that's thinking about moving to Hammonton that is from outside the area that really doesn't know much, but maybe their job is relocated or whatever?
I would say that Hammonton is the right place. We have excellent eateries. We have an excellent school system. We have, like I say, a nice active Main Street. We have shops. We are centrally located. So if you want to, as a betting community, right, if you want to be in Philly or in Atlantic City, you're a half hour. There's a lot of we have 4 or 5 major roadways that go right through Hammonton. So we are well geographically positioned in South Jersey.
What would you say to somebody that aspires to be the next mayor one day, when you're done?
This is my last term. And
that's on record.
I'm going on record. I'm going on record. This is my last term. I'll be 64. My wife is, she's experienced me out of the house for almost 20 years in public service between the school board and when I'm done these 4. And it's her turn. It's Debbie's turn. And I owe her that. But she's been nothing but 150% supportive of everything I've ever said to do. And so it's time for her and I to spend some time, much needed time together. But whoever would sit in what I affectionately call the big seat next has to slow the game down. Remember that there's 15,000 people that depend on you. Remember that safety is your #1 job in the community. And to keep everybody, whatever their political affiliation, in mind when you make your decisions. And never, ever cut a deal.
Talk to me about your family. For people that don't know you.
Yeah, I have a tremendous wife, Debbie. I call her Debs. I have two beautiful children, Matt and Christina. My daughter is married with 2 of her own children. My son and his partner, Brian, have been together for about a year. And we're very blessed. I have a great family. I have excellent kids. We have a very tight-knit family. And, we spend a lot of time together, especially around the holidays. We love Lake George in the summer. So.
How have you managed to have that work-life balance all these years?
I start early. Start some mornings as early as 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Try to always get done, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Try to have at least 3 or 4 nights a week home. I'm in the restaurant business, so Friday and Saturday I'm usually at work, but Sunday is a very important. Sunday, as I always felt, was family day. I try to at least spend every Sunday at home. We get together as a family, have a family night, I call it, and either have dinner, or my wife either cooks or takeouts, but just to sit down together and have a little fun, a couple laughs.
Speaking of fun, we're going to do a rapid fire.
Yes, sir.
A few questions here. Answer first thing that comes to your mind. Favorite food?
Pasta.
Favorite song?
Favorite song? I'm not really in the music, but I'd say The Wind Beneath My Wings.
Favorite drink?
Scotch on the rocks.
Favorite game?
Baseball.
Favorite movie?
Top Gun.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
And first car?
Corvette.
All right.
Wow, I think that's something that is a bombshell and we can break here on Access Hammonton. The mayor will not be seeking re-election. I wonder who's heading for the hot seat next. I guess we're going to have to wait 4 years to find out. In addition to the mayor starting off his new term in office, Deputy Mayor Tom Gribben and Councilman Jonathan Oliva and Ed Woolerman were sworn in as well. We wish continued success to all members of our local government. Before we wrap up, let's head back to Chief Real's office for a moment. On last week's Chat with the Chief, our very own producer, Denise Mazzio, made an appearance to talk about the dog park. Normally, you don't see Denise, so it's a nice change of pace.
On this week's Spotlight, we are going to be featuring that secret jewel out there hiding in Parks and Rec on the Moss Mill Road facilities that we have out there. We have the dog park. So who better to speak about the dog park today than Miss Denise Mazzio? So I brought her in to talk about it. So talking about our four-legged furry friends, what do we need to know now?
So thanks for having me, Chief. only for you am I in front of the camera instead of behind it, but here we are. So it's January. It's time to re-license your dog. If you have a 1-year license, you would bring your rabies certificate to the 3rd floor clerk's office to renew your dog license. If you have a 3-year license, just check that you're still valid, and you can always call us. We can check for you if you're not sure. And a 1-year license is $17. A 3-year license is $30, and just bring your rabies certificate, vaccination record, and we can renew your dog license.
Okay, so you just gave them the super secret saver tip that if you do the 3-year license, you're getting more than 12 months for free for your dog license and the dog park. So that's an amazing thing.
Right. The dog park key fob goes along with the license. So
that's
you
right.
would just,
no extra cost if you are a Hammonton resident. It goes with your dog license.
Yep. All you would have to do is fill out a hold harmless agreement, and everything goes along with your license.
Okay. So wait a minute. The hold harmless, that basically says that you're going to be responsible for your dog while it is in there and keep watch on it, so that if there's other dogs or your dog starts misbehaving a little bit, you're going to take responsibility to make sure your dog is safe, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay, awesome. And that's one of the rules of the dog park.
Right. And the rules are posted at the dog park.
On the outside of the dog park. There's a list of rules about how to use the dog park. About specifically, one of the things is making sure that if it's your dog, you're the owner or you're the caregiver for the dog at that point. You know, maybe it's your grand dog, who knows. You're watching the dog. You're in the dog park with the dog. You're not just going back to your car because it's a little cold out. Matter of fact, as you see the B-roll that we have running right now, Detective Russell and I picked the coldest day of the year so far to go out there and actually film, but we had a furry friend helping us out. We had our friend Jaeger out there, and he was having a good time throwing and catching the ball, and he does throw it back to you, so that was really cool. What else is good to know about the dog park while you're out there?
So the dog park is located at, as you said, the Boyer Ave Soccer Recreation Complex. It's 1111 Moss Mill Road. The other thing to note is that it's not only for Hammonton residents. So
you don't say. Really?
Right. If you live outside of Hammonton, you would just have to register your dog in the municipality where you live, and then bring that license to us and show us that it's licensed and the rabies certificate for the license as well. We make a copy of that, and there's a $25 fee for a yearly
subscription.
Basically, right, a yearly key fob, and then you can access the dog park. And then you would just have to renew that. And it's all of the licenses only run from January to December. So if you license your dog in July, you're only getting from July to December. It doesn't go from July to July. So that's important to note, because a lot of people ask us that. Like, well, how come I only have 6 months if I'm paying the whole fee?
So it's basically
it's the program.
It's a 2022 licensing that you're paying for.
Correct, exactly.
Okay. And as you pointed out, you get a key fob. So if you go to the lock at the dog park and you try to use your key fob and it doesn't work, you kind of want to think about when's the last time that you renewed your dog license. Is that right?
It's possible that it was turned off because you didn't renew. Or once in a while, I mean, it's technology, so once in a while it doesn't work. So just call us in the clerk's office. They can call me, whoever. We'll go out and we'll take care of it. We'll get it worked out.
And I noticed that number, as well as an email, is posted on the sign out there, notifying people that if there are any problems or if they notice anything that's improper or things that are a problem out there, to contact immediately those numbers. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And also, the dog park sometimes is closed for maintenance. If the DPW has to go in to cut some brush and clean things up in there, or if there's any other type of maintenance that has to be done, the dog park may be closed. So you'll probably see a sign, which I'm imagining we'll put a sign.
Yeah,
there'll be a sign
posted
out there advising that it's closed. But another way to always know, because it seems like everybody and their brother has a smartphone, it's always posted on the Town of Hammonton website if there is a reason why the dog park is going to be closed, to save you the trip of driving out there and having Fluffy or Fido a little bit disappointed that they didn't get to go run in the dog park. The other thing I noticed out there, and it's really important because that nice big green sign that says to pick up after your dog, that applies in the dog park too, doesn't it?
Correct. There are receptacles for bags that we provide. You just grab a bag and take care of the dog's mess, and then please put it in the trash can.
Right, and actually the town of Hammonton is providing the bags, so
Yep.
make it nice and safe and clean for you out there. And the dog park is bifurcated into 2 sections, right? We have,
The small dog side and the large dog side.
all right. Are the small dogs allowed on the large dog side?
If you are comfortable with your dog playing with larger dogs and it's a small dog, by all means. If they're comfortable and they're playing nicely together, you know, we recommend that you keep the small dogs on the small side and the large dogs on the large side. But if your dogs are comfortable and they're friendly dogs, it's not a matter of you're only allowed in this side or that side.
Yeah,
You know?
and just
be kind and courteous. Be considerate of the other users of the park. You know, we just ask that.
yeah, that's important, especially if you have a dog that's a little bit more bossy or aggressive than others, and you notice that it's starting to bother some other dogs. Please be mindful of removing your dog from the dog park for a little bit, so that this way, you know, people can enjoy it as well. And as another thing I thought of is that with the small dogs on the large dog side, be very mindful of your dog and keep an eye, because there are some dogs, large breeds that are small dog aggressive. Not that they're aggressive dogs, but they want to play and don't realize that they're playing a little bit too rough.
Right, or that they're so much bigger than the other dog.
Yeah. Yep. The other thing that I noticed that's very important is parking. When you are out there at the dog park, you're going to park on the opposite side of the fenced and gated area, and you're going to be walking across the roadway. So we ask that all motorists traveling through that roadway to please slow down, because there are going to be people and dogs crossing the street. Going to make a suggestion to put a little painted crosswalk too. Might be a little helpful to remind people to slow down, because it is a state law that you have to stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk, and that is technically a municipal roadway, so we have the ability to put that ordinance in play.
I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea too. Anything else we can think of about our furry little friends out there?
Oh, the benefit of licensing your dog is that if your dog happens to run out the door or get off of the leash and gets away from you, you know, Facebook is a great tool for people to post if their dog was lost, and the police.
Wait, you mean we have lost dogs in Hammonton?
The police do an amazing job of taking care of all of our lost furry friends in town, but if you license your dog, that license, the police are able to look it up in the system, and they'll know right away who the owner is and be able to call you and say, we found your family member, and we can return them much faster and easier if the dog is licensed and registered in the system.
Because part of the registration is not just the dog's name, because most dogs do not answer their name or tell us their name. But it's the breed, the color of the dog.
Right.
That helps us to help identify. And then this way we can return dogs to their rightful homes, back with their families. Although a lot of them enjoy staying here, they hang out usually with our dispatchers. I think I've given a couple of the dogs applications to work in our dispatch. Because they like it here so much. But no, it's important. And registering your dog is not just a means of making money, because that's not what the town is doing. We're paying our costs of the key fob, the paperwork, and everything that we need to file to have on hand. But it's important because it keeps all of our dogs in our community healthy, especially at the dog park. Dogs have an interesting way of saying hi to each other, and dogs can get sick very quickly from other dogs out there. So that's why it's very important that as the rules are on the gate outside, that you only take your dog there when it's well. Don't take your dog there while it's sick, because it could get other dogs sick. And it's great to be up on your shots, because that's keeping the other dogs in the community healthy too. I also noticed one in there that maybe people don't think of, and I didn't even think of it, but I saw it there. If your dog is in heat, not a good idea to take your dog to the dog park. It could cause some problems, could cause some dogs to get a little bit more friendly than we would want.
A little bit of a ruckus, yeah. We don't want that.
All right. Anything else that you can think of about talking about our dog park today?
Not that I can think of, no. I think we covered it.
I have a great question. Is there hours of use? Would it just apply to the same thing as the entire park itself?
Correct. Dawn to dusk, while it's light out.
Okay. And all of our parks are dawn to dusk unless there is something that has an approved use of facilities. If there's an event that's going on past dark, that's why everybody thinks of, well, the Little League games are going in the
right.
lights till like almost 10 o'clock some nights.
That's different.
It's
right.
different because they have a use of facility and it's already a scheduled event. So we would ask that you don't go out there in the middle of the night, although I know that some people work odd hours. We do have patrols that go through. We do have camera systems that we utilize. We want everyone to respect our parks and recreation areas, to keep them well so that our community can enjoy it. Well, I want to thank you for coming out here, Denise,
Thank you
today.
for having me.
I know that you like to be on the other side of the camera. So this is one of our additional installments that we're doing with Chat with the Chief and Access Hammonton, partnering together to help keep our community informed. Well, thanks. Have a great week. See you later on.
See ya.
Great information. Thanks for taking the time to tell us about an important topic, Denise. Well, that's all we have for you this month. Thanks so much for joining us. Keep working on those resolutions, and don't forget to tune in next month to find out what's up next on Access Hammonton.